Hello, g'day, kia ora, and welcome. My name is Simon Elisha, and welcome to AWS Initiate, the online conference dedicated to helping public sector organisations of all kinds understand how to harness technology to achieve incredible outcomes, all with citizens firmly at the centre. Organisations including Frontier SI, the University of Melbourne, and Transport for New South Wales are all creating excellent citizen experiences in the cloud. You're going to hear more about these inspirational AWS customers later. Public sector services is a domain that's moving at an incredible pace, driven by things like the pandemic and customers' demand for faster, more convenient ways of dealing with the services they depend upon. However, the speed and sheer scope of solutions out there can be confusing. What's not confusing is the set of needs that customers share. The need to be innovative and innovate fast. The need to deliver great experiences with citizens at the centre, and the need to do it all with security and privacy. We're going to be exploring each of these three key themes with you during the next 30 minutes. But before we do, I want to take a moment to say thank you. We're on a mission to accelerate public sector innovation and solve problems that impact communities. We can't do it without you. Customer feedback drives over 90% of AWS innovation. That's right, over 90% of our roadmap and features are a direct result of talking with you. Take Amazon Connect, for example. It's a direct response to what you were telling us frustrated you about legacy call centre solutions. We originally built Amazon Connect to support Amazon's own growth, but you told us that you were having the exact same issues finding a fast to deploy, easy to expand contact solution centre, able to operate on every channel. Oh, and by the way, that costs less than a traditional call centre to operate. We heard you, consulted with you, and put Amazon Connect in your hands. I can't tell you how amazing it is to know that because we innovate, you can innovate. To know that thousands of organisations, like New South Wales Health, now have the power to custom create their own contact centre in hours, if not minutes. It's just amazing. In fact, New South Wales Health built call centres to deal with a massive influx of calls to New South Wales Health Pathology regarding coronavirus testing. Another state government health department stood up their entire call centre from scratch in only 3 days using Amazon Connect. The truth is, incredible innovations like these become a reality because of you. So thank you for being on this journey with us. And thank you for joining us today. Let's not forget our partners who are every bit a part of the innovation that happens around the world. For your expertise, cross-domain knowledge, and for your offerings in the AWS marketplace full of the solutions you bring to accelerate customers' missions. We thank you. And thank you to our relentlessly customer-obsessed workforce. We're in our 10th year here in ANZ. We've invested more than $3 billion in the region during that time, including infrastructure and our local workforce. We've shared with ANZ customers our peculiar culture that drives our ability to continuously lead the way, including our obsession with removing obstacles so that our customers can build and innovate. This thread that runs through the organisation is a big part of why our employees enjoy working here and contribute unreservedly to our customer success. With that, let's talk about what it means to innovate. What does innovation in the public sector really mean? Our customer, the University of Melbourne, gives a great example of innovating in establishing its Smart Cities program, AIMS. Let's hear more about it.
Melbourne has topped the Global Livability Index for years, yet the city's increasing congestion and the safety implications that go with it threaten to drag it back. The University of Melbourne is taking up the challenge of finding technological solutions for transforming Melbourne into a safe, congestion-free zone. A Smart Cities project team known as AIMS, which stands for Australian Integrated Multimodal Ecosystem, is undertaking the work. For decades, transport researchers have known they can improve traffic dramatically with access to the right data. AWS has been the key to bring this aspiration to life, connecting all types of transport systems, including the iconic Melbourne tram. AIMS has created a living lab in a densely populated area of the inner city, which delivers real-time data on what's happening in different parts of the ecosystem. More importantly, it predicts where problems are likely to arise. AWS is the operating system that brings everything together in a secure environment where hundreds of elements and entities talk to each other. For AIMS, there's no better city than Melbourne for exploring the concept of a smart city, and no better place to build it than AWS.
Wasn't that inspirational? The word innovation gets bandied around sometimes very freely. For me, true innovators think in brand new ways. We just heard about smart cities, able to sense and communicate data on traffic and pedestrians to proactively control congestion and improve the safety of vulnerable travellers using things like machine learning and the Internet of Things. It's easy to hear about innovations like these and still not imagine ourselves doing the same. Maybe that's because as Australians and Kiwis, we tend not to want to fail fast, which is what the innovation books tell you to do. In fact, we'd rather not fail at all. Plus, innovation in the public sector comes with the pressure of doing it under public scrutiny. That's why at AWS we innovate on behalf of our customers. We're constantly adding new capabilities that are cheaper, faster, and more secure, so you can innovate with predictability. Think back to Amazon Connect, a perfect example of us releasing our own innovation into the hands of our customers to enable them to innovate even further. We call that a transfer of innovation. Another common innovation barrier is cost. Again, the cost of innovation may not be what you think. One of the key benefits of the cloud is that it makes innovation incredibly affordable. Take Amazon TextRact as an example, our machine learning service that automatically extracts text, handwriting and data from scanned documents. There's no upfront fees and you only pay for what you use, for as little as $1 per 1,000 scanned pages, which means TextRact could cost you less to use each month than a cup of coffee, especially if you're buying one of our fancy Melbourne coffees. So that's a way to think about your own innovation. If I can give you one important thought to take away, it's don't hold yourself back. Our founder, Jeff Bezos, defines decision-making as one-way doors and two-way doors. There's no going back on a one-way door decision, but smart decision-making is a two-way door and can be reversed. Our services are designed to give you that two-way door. If you no longer want a specific service, stop using it, stop paying for it. You're not stuck with kit in your data centre that has to pay you back over several years. We make it easy for you to innovate. All you need to do is get started. So at AWS, we innovate for our customers. And for the public sector, their customers are actually their citizens. So we're going to talk about citizen-centricity next. I like to say citizens deserve nice things. Isn't that true? The whole purpose of innovation, digital transformation, is to get close to where people are, to meet people's expectations and experiences that are easy to use and work for them. Guess where their experiences are? Not in a government office, not in your on-premises servers. They're in mobile apps 24/7 outside of office hours. Importantly, in a region with our landmass, they're in remote and rural areas. Areas unable to access physical services conveniently and in an acceptable timeframe unless you deliver them digitally. The fact is, people are already interacting online in every possible way in their daily lives. To be truly citizen-centric, you must be there too. When I think about citizen-centric services, I think of Transport for New South Wales. This department is a great example of building for the customer. The ability to hear the voice of the customer is critical to Transport New South Wales. In fact, with 800 million train and bus journeys in a typical year, it's a lot of voices. Smart applications get to the heart of things customers are telling the department they want, like room on the bus, with big data and machine learning able to predict and accommodate patronage levels and keep things flowing. The perfect example of citizen centricity for me, though, is at the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, Transport for New South Wales restored public confidence in the state's transportation network and curbed the spread of the disease by analysing the travel history recorded by Opal cards with people's permission and informing commuters of the COVID safety of their services. Let's hear more from Transport for New South Wales.
Transport for New South Wales is an agency formed to look after the end-to-end customer experience around transport. So whether you're driving a car, taking a train, going on a ferry, Transport for New South Wales is there to ensure that you have a seamless, great customer experience throughout the time. What AWS brings to the table for us is a true partnership in our digital accelerator. Our digital accelerator is the place that we bring startups in industry to help us solve transport problems. And where AWS helps us with is providing the scalable infrastructure for startups in industry to trial and test their technologies so that we can quickly scale some of these new and emerging concepts like machine learning and really quickly bring it to market either through a proof of concept or customer trial. We've seen a lot of that come to market now over the last 3 years, and we're very excited to see our investments in open data and contactless payments in making the customer experience so seamless and easy that they choose public transport more often. And that's really our goal with future transport technology.
Wow, this is using big data analytics and real-time dashboards that let transport take the pulse of the network. Data-driven recommendations in innovative apps mean the department is delivering better transport choices and ensuring great citizen experiences. Critically, to make good decisions, you need access to good data. Transport has put itself in a position to make great decisions. How can you create citizen-centric experiences? Firstly, you need to work backwards from the customer. You can use our own Amazon working backwards methodology. Secondly, you need to adopt a customer journey mindset versus a project mindset. These things last lifetimes, in fact, many lifetimes. And you need to acknowledge that this is not only a technology change, it's an organisation change and a culture change. Consider how you can bring the entire organisation along for the journey. Our last topic is security. How do you know you're building in an environment of security and privacy? To innovate, you need an environment that gives you certain reassurances that you're operating in a securest posture as possible. As a collaborative researcher organisation dealing with sensitive data on a daily basis, our customer Frontier SI is focused on minimising the risks while maximising the benefits of innovation. Let's hear about Frontier SI.
We look to Frontier SI to help us with complex problems and also to make some of those, I suppose, more aspirational ideas real for us.
The good thing about what Frontier SI offer is they already have a lot of these relationships with the spatial industry in place. By having people who already know what's happening within the spatial industry, they can put you in touch with the right people.
Bringing together academia, government and private to solve the toughest problems that exist in Australia and New Zealand. In some cases you're bringing together competitors. I don't think an organisation that I know of has been able to do this more successfully than Frontier SI.
At the end of the day for Frontier, we know that everything happens somewhere and solutions happen when we bring great people together. That's what Frontier will continue to do, and our job now is let's make sure we can tell our story. Everybody wants to be a part of this and everybody deserves to be a part of this.
Isn't it interesting how they're able to collaborate with other organisations in an environment that was both open and secure? It really opens up options that were not previously available. We're going to hear more from Frontier SI again later. Needless to say, when you're dealing with volumes of data, you want it to be secure. Security is always our top priority at AWS. Our data centres are secure by design. We spend countless hours before building a data centre considering potential threats, designing, building and implementing controls to mitigate risk. More importantly, we put these same controls into the hands of our customers to give them the ability to proactively and dynamically detect threats, therefore building with confidence. Imagine not having to react to a threat, but having it both detected and mitigated in the blink of an eye. And finally, we have local compliance standards, such as IRAP, already built into our security tools to make compliance quick, simple, and leave you with a better security posture than your existing one. In fact, most customers are quick to tell us that they experience a better security posture when they move to AWS. That's all we have time for here. I hope you've heard plenty to inspire you, and more importantly, to take action. Remember that cup of coffee that paid for Textract? Building innovative, customer-centric, secure solutions need not be costly. So go buy a cup of coffee and unleash your creativity too. And it need not be complex. If you go to the aws.amazon.com product pages, you'll see a whole host of free trials and examples to get you started. I'd like to challenge all of you to sign up to one new trial in the next 4 weeks, or call your account manager and talk through how you can speed up your innovation journey. Then maybe we'll be talking about you in next year's Keynote. Because as you've seen from our customers today, incredible things happen when we initiate that first step. Hang around, we've plenty more content for you, including a fireside chat with the University of Melbourne and Frontier SI. And keep on building.